How y'all doing? I just wanted to say, hello, how you doing? I'm glad I got out of the house. It's been wonderful. I didn't realize I had been in the house for a full week until I got in the car with my son this morning because we were going to go buy a couch because the dogs had torn up my couch. So I went to get the couch, and I got two sons. One's as tight on the dollar as me. So I can't take him to go buy nothing because we go in there and walk out with nothing other than a headache. So I took the spendthrift son with me. And the spendthrift son, that's nothing negative. He just, money burns holes in his pockets. And that was the one to take. You know, I couldn't take his advice, but I needed his energy. You know what I'm saying? So he gets in the car. He took my car to the shop last week for they had to reboot some nonsense. I just figured out how that stupid car works, and now they done redone did a reboot of something. I couldn't figure out how to do it, but anyway, he was messing with it. And then he put on all that hip hop, and I said, because I put on 70s music, old people music, and Isley Brothers, OJs, I'm going out like that, 60s. And so I'm driving, I want to hear my music. I said, that's fine. And then we get in the car, and he looks around the car, and he said, Mom, he said, this car is set for me. I mean, the seat's back, like whenever he gets in the car, or my husband get in the car, I'd have to take a 20-minute ride back up to the place where I can get to the wheel. And he got in the car and said, what? And he says, you haven't left the house in over a week, Mom. And I said, well, let's go then. And we went, and he started driving, and I had my hands on the thing, and he was talking, and I finally said, baby, you got to slow down. He says, I'm driving, let me drive. And I said, I'm a better driver than you. And I said, you are a better driver, but I want you to slow down. So you want me to drive, but you want me to drive the way you want me to drive. And I said, absolutely. So we did. I said, am I doing all right? And then he took it too far, just to give me the business. But anyway, we went in there and we bought a couch, and we were sending pictures to the son that's not a spendthrift, but we wouldn't send him the prices because a fight would have broke out. That's why the three of us can't all go together anyway. But the thing I learned was A, I've been in the house a whole longer than I thought, and B, well, I ain't gonna tell you what people just. You go out with your kids. He's 30 years old. He's a man. But he's still your kid. But he's a man. And he's still your kid. And then we went out to eat. And I left my purse. I walked out. This is another thing about how in-house I had been. I just left my purse at the restaurant, went and got in, and the car wouldn't open because he was driving my car because the key was back in the restaurant. And I go, oh my God, my purse! And I go running back in there, and my son's standing there. And we had the longest conversation on the way back. He said, why did you panic like that? And he said, you knew you paid for the food, so you knew it had to be in there. Why would you panic like that? And I said, women panic when they can't find that purse. He goes, when I can't find my wallet, I don't panic. I said, you never do panic. Even when it's time to panic, you don't panic. You ain't paying attention. Anyway, we had a long conversation about it. But he thinks that I don't know how to. And it's true, I don't. I don't know how to be cool. I don't know how to be chill. I don't know none of that. Now, somebody asked me a question. I don't even know why I tell you that story. I tell you that story because I haven't been here in a while. I haven't had anything to tell you. I do have some questions to answer, and I want to answer them, though, later on because I'm collecting them. But one guy, I'll answer this one guy. He says, he came from a family of people who weren't demonstrative, and it's just killing him that he can't be more demonstrative with his children. And he goes, what do you do? How do you do to get over that? see, what I do is I play a game in my head about what would make me do it. Like, if my kid was falling in the pool and I had to jump in and I would grab him and do that. So I would think, I said, they're drowning in the lack of my attention, and just grab them once a day and give them a hug. I'm not going to let you go down. Boom. And be uncomfortable. Go ahead, come over here, give me a hug. Be uncomfortable. Just go ahead and be uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable for a while. And then it'll get more and more comfortable. And you can even talk about it with your wife. Hey, I want to get more comfortable with this. You can work at it. You can do group hugs. You can, take all kinds of things. But be willing to be uncomfortable. Have something in your mind that you think about that requires you to do it. They're drowning in a sea of my lack of attention. Good Lord, let me pull them in the boat. And this other guy asked me, well, I'm not going to say his name. I was just curious if you had any advice for a single man to find somebody with a personality like yours. Yeah, I do. Be careful what you wish for. I look real good from way over there. You get up in here with me and you can see all the cracks in the surface. The plumbing isn't good. The pipings, everything's are undone, not quite right. And the grass is not greener. That Casatola. It is not. Look at that face. They got stuff all over my carpet. Look at that. Have a good day.